So hello and welcome back to another episode of Limitless You Talk with me, Katie. Another solo one today. And I'm standing up doing this actually for the first time. So I feel as if I can get more motion, more movement and everything. So coming up with this episode and this chat and conversation that we're going to have is all focusing on gaining back your power. And it's conversations that I've had throughout my time as a coach, throughout my time going through struggles with mental health, and obviously into today's world. Is gaining back your power is something that you have to earn yourself. It's something that you have to really, really work hard on. And it's something that we all have the ability and the capability to grasp. Now, I'm talking about, if I talk about it from my experience, it's from being in a place where I was really, really low, not feeling like I was going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I never expected to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I never expected to be doing something like this, sharing a conversation with you, doing little vlogs, sharing insights into my life, using my experience to try and help others, for example. But gaining back your power, I suppose what I mean by this is it's the day that you can get up out your bed feeling not your best self, because there's no proper perfect way to do that, but it's waking up and feeling that you can make a difference today. It's waking up knowing that everything that you've got in your day, whether you like it or not, you know that you can get through it, and that you know that you can go back to bed at the end of that day knowing the power you've had to control everything within your control. And whatever you can't control, you have to let it happen, you have to get through it, is how you are in charge of that. You are the power and you have gained the power to deal with that day. So that's the kind of the basis of that. And gaining back your power is like gaining your own stripes, of earning your own stripes, as you will only be your most powerful in the factors that you can control. So if we look at it this way, we can control what we eat every day because we go to the supermarket and buy our food. We can control what we wear for clothes. Like me right now recording this podcast, I'm wearing a woolly bonnet that I wear non-stop throughout the winter, whether it be the one that I've got on right now, which is grey, whether I wear my blue one when I go to the football matches because my team wears blue. I'm not going to name the team, not want to offend anyone probably with the team I support, but just that's not important. So I spend most of the winter in woolly bonnets, as I call them. And in the summer, I spend most of my time in my baseball caps. And for me, they are a sense and they are a comfort blanket. They help me gain a sense of power because I feel confident when I wear them, because I'm comfortable when I'm wearing them. Comfortable because I wear a hoodie most of the time. I'm comfortable because I wear a suit when I'm in funeral director mode, Katie. When I say funeral director mode activated. So I suppose in a way, again, putting in my own context, is that's when I'm gaining and knowing my full power. Because there was a time where I wore nothing but pyjamas. There was times where I wore the same pants for more than one day. Okay, some might say that's too much information, but that's me just being honest, because I didn't have a sense of power, didn't have a sense of control because of what was going on with me. I didn't go shopping to get food because I didn't want the pain that I was feeling because I wasn't eating. So I had no power, I had no control. And they were actually some like external factors within all of that. But I can control what I eat now. Like I get meal prep for eating to help with my training because I'm not the best chef and I would just eat the same thing all the time. But is that really benefiting me to be the runner that I want to be in the next few years? Absolutely not. The clothes that I wear, I absolutely can control. And I don't care what anyone says. For me, I'm comfortable in a hat, comfortable with a hoodie, and comfortable in the gym gear. I'm comfortable in my funeral suit, if you like, if you want to call it that, because I'm there to help. I'm there to help keep control of such an important factor for a family. And that's what you've got to look at. But you don't have power within yourself if you're using excuses to not do something. If you're saying that something's too expensive, but then you go and do something that I would class as expensive or I wouldn't want to spend my money on. So have a think about that, whatever that could be for you. And gaining back my control, or gaining back your control, is, I suppose, the way in which the language that you use. So again, the things that you can control. You can control what you eat. You can control what you put in your mouth, what you drink. You can control what you wear. You can control if you go for a shower every day. You can control if you brush your teeth every day. You can't control a car accident. You can't control the weather. You can't control that the supermarket doesn't have the exact brand of bread you want. Still sells bread. You can't control the unexpectedness, we'll say, at work. You can't expect the circumstances you might walk into your work one day. You know, the intended plan A of the day might not be able to happen for various different reasons. So all of that's not within your control. But we don't need to say that that's taking our power away. Just because I couldn't get on a machine in the gym doesn't mean that I still can't control the session that I'm doing. I might have to adapt it. I might have to swap things about. But I'm still in control. I'm still controlling it. And that's what gaining your power actually is not letting little tiny annoyances, little tiny frustrations, easy factors that you can use as an excuse that you can help drop your motivation, that make you not do things that actually benefit you. That's losing your power. The most powerful thing you'll ever do is keep going no matter what. Keep going when times are hard. Keep going through injury. Adapt, conquer. Adapt and conquer it. Because that's how you gain more power. Whatever happens in your life, if you don't let situations, circumstances, external factors, the different brand of bread in the supermarket that you hate buying, but that's the only one that's there and you now have to buy for the house, you're still gaining your power because you're not letting that define you. You're not letting that define your circumstances. You're not letting that define who you want to be. And you're keeping that gaining of power that you have. The way in which you will lose that power is if you let any of that get in your nerves, if you let any of that consume you, and if you let any of that beat you. And if any of that beats you, it's going to be harder to regain the power that you had. It's like someone going on a diet. They start the diet on the Monday, but the Wednesday it starts to fall on its side, and by Friday it's just non-existent. So they're going to start on the Monday again. It's like they start with the power, they slowly lose the power then becomes non-existent, and they have to build up quickly to start again. And it's the same protocol week after week. So how is that properly gaining your power? Well, gaining your power is someone that's going to sustain, be consistent, be willing, be committed. Those 4 aspects come down to the journey and self-development of not only gaining back your power if you feel that you've lost it in whatever area it is of your life, but keeping it. It's like motivation. Everybody goes through roller coaster, up, down of motivation. But motivation is a key to the car that you would put in the car in the ignition to allow the car to start. In order for you to drive that car, you have to be willing to control the steering wheel, control the pedals. You have to be committed to putting yourself out there on the roads. You have to be consistent because you might have to drive the same route to work twice a day because you drive there and you drive back. And you have to be willing that no matter what you face on the road, whether it be a difficult driver, whether it be flat tyre, that no matter what, you're going to do it because that's what you've committed to. Because you've committed that way to get to your work. So that's how you can gain your power, by using 4 simple things to apply it, to implement it into whatever it is. And not only will you gain a sense of power, but you can keep that power going because you know that that's a habit and behaviour that you're going to have to do every day. Now, I'm not going to go in and talk about diet and things like that right now. I'm sure I have many things to say about it and I don't want to go off on a tangent. But gaining back your power, having that power, keeping that power, working so hard not to lose that power is one of the most powerful aspects of a self-development journey. And it just means that when you have a dip in motivation, you have a dip in your power, we do let external factors, like me, we do let external factors sometimes just creep in and get to us. That's a matter of life and that's just what happens. But in the long run, it's who you decide and who you choose to be within that can make the difference. Are you the person that's going to let it consume you? where everything you go maybe go a step back to where you were because you worked so hard to get that step forward. So stepping back is going to feel 10 times worse. Or are you the person that's going to say, you know what, I committed to this. I'm so willing to work through this hardship that's happening, that's really tackling and fighting me off with this power. I'm going to be as consistent as I possibly can. And I'm going to work at it. I'm going to work at it because the power that I've gained, the way it makes me feel, the way it makes me function, the way it allows me to turn up energy, the way that it just makes me feel comfortable in areas that I might not have been comfortable for, is how your power grows, how you gain it after a hardship, after a hard time in your life, and how you keep it going. And that's not to say it's going to be 100% every single day. It is not. But whatever it is, even if it's just going to be 1% every single day, isn't 1% better than absolute no percent? It's like they talk about mindset, where it's a 0 to 1 mindset, and that's something I'm learning right now. Not going to go into it, but if you're someone that's a 0 to 1 mindset, you'll never gain power. You'll never gain power from 0 to 1. You'll never go from 1 to 2, building it. And you'll never go from 3, 4, 5, 6 onwards and keep it. So think about your levels of power in your life and aspects of your life that maybe need a little bit of reflection, need a little bit of review, need a little bit of recharging. And can you gain your power back in some of them that might have been lost? How are you going to keep them? And how are you going to keep moving forward with them? Remember, you are your own power, and you can use that power to continue to be your best self.